Today we're going to talk about social media and the steps you need to take to post to our social media accounts. The point of social media is to build engagement with our readers, to keep them up to date on current travel issues and topics, and to help drive traffic to Trekity. And Trekity has 3 social media accounts with Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus One. To do this process, you'll need these files and access to Buffer. So we're currently looking at the social media training document. You'll need the social media spreadsheet, and you'll need access to Buffer. Buffer is a tool that helps schedule the posts throughout the week, which will automatically post to Twitter, Facebook, or Google Plus One without you having to manually go to each site to post something. Okay, so Monday through Friday, we publish 2 tweets on Twitter and 2 posts on Facebook and Google Plus One, as I mentioned, to help build engagement and drive traffic to Trekity. Now we'll go through the process of doing that. So go to the social media spreadsheet, and you'll notice that there are several tabs at the bottom. Click the copy and paste tab first. This will be your guideline. Every week you'll copy and paste this and use it as your guideline to finding what you're going to be publishing on each of the different social media sites. So simply highlight it, do Control-C to copy, jump over to the Buffer tab, scroll down to the bottom when you get to an open space and do a Control-V. Okay, so if we look at this guideline, it's saying that on Facebook and Google Plus One, we're going to be posting an article that's coming from Trekity. If we look at the second line, we're going to be posting on Facebook and Google Plus One a photo that's coming from another site. So if you can use this basically as a guideline, and it's scheduled in this order, so that way we're doing a variety of content coming from Trekity and coming from other sites, potentially people that we've worked with in the past, or other big name sites such as Nat Geo and BBC. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the first one. We're looking for an article that's coming from Trekity. So if we click the Trekity URLs tab, this is a snapshot of all of the content on Trekity as of the beginning of September 2013. So you can basically pull any article that you want and try to jump around so you're not just pulling the ones at the top of the list, because they're all in alphabetical order. So just kind of jump around, and let's just say that we're going to do Coast to Coast Cycle. Let's see what this is about. Okay, so I'm going to grab this URL and do Control-C, go back over here, go to my Buffer tab, and paste that URL here. Now I need to add some text that's going to go along with this article. Now we want to post engaging text that's going to encourage our readers to either comment or to like or to share whatever we're posting. So under the Topics and Text Ideas tab, we have different things that you can post along with the URLs of the articles, photos that you're posting. So we have quote ideas. So here's a URL where you can get a list of quotes that are inspiring women's travel quotes. We have trivia, so you can see these if you wanted to post some trivia questions. We also just have basic questions where you can just fill in the blank. And so if you're using these items, make sure you kind of jump around so you're not posting the same question every day. Also, Ceci, our intern, is going to be working on adding a list of holidays and festivals around the world, along with the dates, so we can post more current information about different holidays that are coming up, and to help spread that with our readers. So I'm just going to take a look at this article to see what it's about so I can post some relative text. So this is Coast to Coast Cycling Route in Northern England. I'm just kind of doing a quick scan of what it's about. Basically the title says what it is, but you can read through if you like. Also, another tip is to scroll down to the bottom. We have fun facts, which you could also use as kind of like part of your trivia. So this looks like a good fun fact, so I'm just going to copy this text, go back over to my Buffer tab, and put that fun fact in there. And now I'm going to write an engaging question. So I have the fun fact: the Lake District is the largest national park in England, covering 885 square miles. It's the most visited park in the UK. Have you been? So, whoever's reading this on Facebook or Google Plus One could then respond with a comment if they've been or not. Okay, so that's our first example. Now let's take a look at the next one. So we're looking for a photo that's coming from another site. So I'm going to click the Other URLs tab. And here we have a list of websites that you can use to help find different articles and photos coming from another site other than Trekity. So we have different websites and what they're good for. So these websites are good for articles. We have some female travel articles. We have news sites, photos, video sites, and women articles. So it kind of helps you determine what you're looking for. So let's take a look at the Daily Travel Photos site. And what we're trying to look for is women-centric content. So the photos could be of men or women, but typically I like to publish more women's stuff. So if you can find a woman, that's probably a little bit better, but we can do a combination. This is a young Balinese dancer. So let's take that. I'm going to copy the image URL. Go back over here to Buffer. Paste that in. And add some text. Okay, so I have, this is a young Balinese dancer. Would you do a dance class in Bali? To ask some engaging questions. Okay. Another thing I forgot to mention too is if you're taking content from the Trekity URL tab, make sure that you mark that you've used it with a Y, saying yes, you've used it. So that way you know it's been published recently, and whoever is going to be looking for another article won't use this and republish something twice in a row. Everything that you're putting into the social media buffer tab, you want to make sure you do a spell check. So if you want to just load them all up at one time, you could then copy and paste this into Word to make sure that there's no misspellings and to make sure that we're not publishing anything that doesn't look professional on our social networks. So once you've populated all of these items for the entire week, you'll then go over to Buffer and add them so that it automatically schedules throughout the week. So I'm going to grab the photo and do a Control-C of the URL, go back over to Buffer, and at the top of Buffer there's a box that says, what do you want to share? If you paste in the URL there, it'll grab the image, then delete this made-up URL that pops up, go back to your spreadsheet, copy the text that goes along with it, jump back over to Buffer and do a Control-V to paste. Now here it says that you're posting right now to Twitter, Facebook, and Google +1. This one, per the social media spreadsheet, is only supposed to go to Facebook and Google +1. So you'll uncheck Twitter. It should be grayed out to have it not post there. So currently it's just going to Facebook and Google +1, and I'm going to go ahead and click Buffer. Okay, so now if I click away from that, the box will go away, and if I click Facebook or Google +1, I can see that that Balinese dancer image is showing there, and my text should be under both of them. So let's do one for Twitter. So we're looking for an article that's coming from Trekity. So I'm going to go to the Trekity URL, scroll down a little bit, find something new. Let's see. Click that link. I'm going to mark that I'm using this one with a yes. Grab the URL, do a Control-C to copy, go back over to my Buffer tab, paste the URL in. Let's take a look at what this article is about. Explore the great outdoors, New York City. So it's just maybe taking a walking tour of New York. Here's a good fun fact, so I'm going to grab that and do a Control-C, jump back over to my social media, paste that in there, put fun fact. The largest public open space in Manhattan is Battery Park, often called the city's front lawn. Okay, so let's put this in Buffer. I'm going to do a Control-C to copy the URL, go over to Buffer. You can click the Twitter tab. Right now we don't have anything listed in there. And then I'm going to click here. You can see Twitter's only highlighted. Facebook and Google +1 are grayed out, so it won't post there. Paste in the URL, remove that link, grab the text, put that in there, And for Twitter, it'll tell you how many more characters you have. So it's showing me I have 6 more characters. So if I start typing other things, it'll say you're going over, and that will get, it won't display basically. So it's saying you're over by 9 characters. So let's just remove that. And I'm going to go ahead and click buffer. It's saving it, and there we have it. Okay, so that's basically the social media process. I'm going to jump back over to the spreadsheet to make sure I didn't miss anything. So let's just recap. Every single week you're going to copy and paste the different schedules to use as a guideline for what you're finding. You'll research the articles, photos, and news focused on travel and women's topics online and on Trekity to be posted on Twitter and Facebook and Google +1. You'll use the Other URLs tab and the Trekity URLs tab. Okay, here's something I forgot to mention. You also want to continually check Trekity's homepage to make sure that we're sharing the most recently published posts on Trekity. So we have posts and interviews that we publish periodically throughout the week. So check the homepage to find the most recent things that we've published on Trekity to then share on our social media sites. So we always want to make sure we're sharing our most current articles and interviews from Trekity. So as I mentioned before, this is a snapshot. The Trekity URLs is a snapshot as of September 2013. So it's not going to be picking up the most recent stuff. So just make sure you check the homepage and share these items as well. Okay. You'll write engaging text to post along with each URL. You can use the topics text tab for examples of what you can post. You'll add the URLs and text to buffer. Okay, so another thing I forgot to mention is that buffer, you can only add 10 posts for each social media network in buffer at a time. So that way you'll have to load up buffer once a week with each of the different articles. Once you've loaded up buffer with the different articles and text, send me an email and I'll go through and proof it to make sure everything looks okay. That wraps up our social media training. If you have any questions, please let me know.